Have you ever wondered what 10,000 votes feels like? My HOA president, Linda, just found out the hard way. She believed her petty rules gave her the right to break into my yard whenever she wanted. She was wrong. Last night, when she tried to hop my fence one final time, she didn't just get a warning. She got the shock of her life. This is a story of how I legally turned my property into a fortress and taught a lesson in boundaries to the woman who had none. It all started when I moved into my dream home. I pictured peace, quiet, and privacy. What I got was Linda. As HOA president, she didn't just enforce rules. She weaponized them. My trash cans were her morning newspaper. My lawn was her personal obsession. And my driveway was her parking threat. I felt like I was living in a spotlight, constantly under inspection. But the moment I knew this was war, I was sipping coffee in my living room and saw a figure in my backyard. It was Linda, standing in my private garden with a tape measure, cool as you please. When I demanded to know what she was doing, she just smirked. "I'm the president," she said. "I don't need permission." That smirk, that was the match that lit the fuse. After that, the security cameras caught her climbing my wall whenever I was gone. The police called it a civil matter. My no trespassing signs were ripped down. I was out of polite options. So I dove deep into state law, looking for a solution that would protect my home without landing me in jail. And I found it a perfect, beautiful loophole. It turns out, if you have livestock or a security concern, you're legally allowed to install an electric fence on your property, provided you post clear warnings. So I got a pet chicken. Her name is Henrietta, and she made my case bulletproof. No judge could argue I wasn't protecting my livestock. A trip to the hardware store secured the centerpiece, a fence energizer that pulses a brutal, non-lethal 10,000 volts. I spent an afternoon weaving thick, camouflage wires along the top of my wall and spacing bright yellow danger. High voltage signs every few feet, exactly as the law required. When I flipped the switch, the box let out a low, menacing hum. The trap was set. That night, I left the garage door slightly open like bait, turned off the lights, and watched the monitors. Right on schedule, a shadow slithered into my yard around 11 p.m. Linda, flashlight in hand, creeping toward the wall. She shone the beam directly on one of my warning signs, paused, let out an audible scoff, and pocketed her light. She reached up, gripped the top of the wall where the hidden wire lay, and pulled herself up. The night exploded in a flash of blinding blue light, and a sound like a gunshot, a loud, vicious crack. Linda's scream tore through the silence. The shock launched her backward in a jerky, twitching arc. The smell of ozone and singed hair hit the air. She landed hard in the grass, her body spasming, her perfectly styled hair standing straight up. She was wailing, blowing on her scorched fingers. I almost didn't hear my own laughter over her hysterics. But the show wasn't over. She called 911, screaming that I'd tried to kill her. Minutes later, my street was awash in red and blue lights. I walked out, coffee mug in hand, as Linda lay on my lawn performing for the officers. Arrest him. He's a maniac. He electrified the wall. The whole neighborhood was watching now, phones out, recording every second. The officer listened, then walked to the wall. His flashlight beam lit up the glaring, reflective warning sign. He turned back to her, his voice flat. "Ma'am, did you not see this?" She stammered. It was dark." "The sign is reflective, ma'am," he said, cutting her off. Then he delivered the final blow. "You are trespassing on private property. He has every right to secure it." He wrote her a massive ticket, right there on the spot. The humiliation was complete. The videos hit social media and went viral overnight. The neighborhood has been beautifully, blessedly quiet ever since. Sometimes, the perfect revenge is just a matter of knowing the rules better than the bully who tries to enforce them. If you enjoyed seeing justice served with a side of high voltage, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what happens next.